So we're just going to take a moment to drop in. Um, Please feel free to get a pillow or a chair, whatever is going to be most comfortable for you. We'll start with just like 3 breaths of sitting, and then we'll do some movement, and we'll come back to sitting. And for those of you who couldn't make it today, I'll just repeat what I just said about the sensory awareness part and everything being just an invitation. So please follow what's coming up for you, what feels most alive for you. Okay, so let's just take a moment. You might close your eyes. We're just going to arrive here in our bodies, settle in to this space, to this time right now. So we'll just follow the next 3 breaths, noticing the connection with the ground, the support underneath us, and the rise and fall of the breath without us needing to do anything. So for this short time, we're going to let go of any extra doing, any of the lists that we have. We're just going to let that go for this short time. We can come back. So once you feel like you've dropped in, we can transition to standing. If that feels comfortable for you, you can always stay sitting or you can lie down. So for all of the transitions, I'll encourage you to really explore the transition. So if it feels like you're going to stand and that's what feels right for you, great. Let yourself find your way there. So no need to push yourself into any certain position. You don't need to watch me. You don't ever need to copy the way that I'm moving. It's not about that. It's about finding your own way there and following your own sensations. So please explore your way to standing if that works for you, or feel free to sit or lie down. And once you've found your way to what's going to work for you today, you can shake out your hands and feet. So we're just going to tend to the whole body and take some time to notice what it feels like to be in this body today. So you can shake out your hands and feet, letting go of anything extra that we don't need to carry with us anymore. You can rub your hands together. And then I like to start with the low back. So you might try rubbing the low back, maybe you try tapping. You can incorporate some movement with the pelvis if that feels good. And then bringing awareness to the spine. You might rub your hands up and down the spine. Feel free to close your eyes so that you can take this time to go inward. And then in between, you can always shake out your hands and feet. And then you might try rubbing your hands together again and bringing the hands over the eyes. You might pause for a moment here, just feeling this area, letting go of any tension around the eyes, behind the eyes, and just noticing what your head feels like, what the skull feels like today. And then from here, we're going to take some time to tend to the whole body from the head down to the feet. So you can do this through touch, through movement, through awareness. Of course, follow what feels good in your body, what feels comfortable for you. So you might give yourself a little jaw massage. You might try opening and closing your jaw a few times. Maybe tugging on the ears. Offering some touch to the neck, to the throat. Just finding all these connections here. So noticing the weight of the head, the connection between the head and the shoulders, the chest and the upper back, exploring the movement of the arms, the shoulders, all the way out to the fingers. You might shake out each finger. And bringing your attention to the breath. So throughout all of this, we're really exploring, can we feel the sensations of the body and notice the movement of breath and notice our thoughts all at the same time while letting go of anything that we're not doing right now. So any stories, anything that we came in with. Sorry, Elena, I asked you to unmute, but I was trying to mute you. Welcome. Hi, Sage. Oh, that's not Sage, it's the new baby. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're just settling in, so feel free to take your time, tend to the whole body, feel your breath. So we're just coming into awareness of all the bones here. So tending to the sternum, feeling all the ribs, feeling the connection with the spine. Noticing how the breath moves the ribs, filling the belly, and allowing the breath to empty. And then taking some time to tend to the pelvis, just noticing the shape of the pelvis, the low back, working with the legs. You might shake out the thighs, going all the way down to the feet. And this, of course, can be done through movement, through awareness, through touch. So if there's a baby on your lap, feel free to close your eyes, wiggle your toes, send the breath through your legs down to your feet. So you might do something to warm up the hips here, maybe doing hip circles, maybe doing little figure eights with your pelvis. And then slowly, as you're ready, coming into a comfortable position where we can welcome in stillness. So I would recommend sitting if that's comfortable for you, and you can sit on a pillow or on a chair. What's important is that your pelvis is a little bit higher than your knees, so that's why you get the pillow, so that you can kind of lift your pelvis up. So we're trying to find a position where we can be relaxed and energized. So once you've found a comfortable position, and feel free to follow any last wiggles, any stretches that feel good for you. So once you've found your way to sitting or lying down, feel free to rock the pelvis a few times. So you can rock forward and back, you can rock side to side. So you're trying to find that sweet spot where the spine is supported by the pelvis. The shoulders are stacked right above the ribs and the pelvis, and the head is supported right above the shoulders so it feels light. So feel free to close your eyes or soften your gaze. Let your spine be long, belly soft, and allow the shoulders to relax down, releasing the jaw, letting go of any extra tension. And we'll just bring the attention to the breath. We'll take some time here, give our thinking minds the thoughts can still happen. We can notice them, but as much as possible, we're just going to allow the thoughts to float by like clouds in the sky, bringing our attention, bringing our focus back to the sensations of the body, the movements of breath. And we can notice the sound. Notice all the places that move as we're filled and emptied by breath. Noticing the rise and fall of chest and belly. Like how the back body is filled by breath. And checking in to see if we're leaning forward or back or more to one side or the other. And just bringing our bodies, bringing our attention right back over the center. Paying extra attention to the spine, the alignment of the spine, maybe leaning back just a little. allowing the breath to be long and slow. We're not pushing or pulling, forcing the breath to do anything. Just allowing the breath to completely fill us up. Noticing if there's any connection with the breath and the pelvic floor. The deep breath can travel all the way down to the pelvis. Finding freedom of movement in the breath. Noticing if there's any way that we're holding the breath. And tiny adjustments we might make the alignment of our body to allow more freedom of movement, to allow the breath to fill us up a little bit more, to allow deep shoulders to wide, openness in the chest. Noticing movements in the spine as breath lengthens the spine, space between each vertebra, and then relaxing as we breathe out, letting any extra tension. And if we notice ourselves following a story, following a chain of thoughts, just gently, lightly bringing ourselves back. Anything we can feel right now. So feeling our connection with the ground, noticing the texture of our clothing against our skin. Feeling the weight of the body, all the tiny movements east inside the nose, traveling through the mouth and throat. The expansion, letting go. And just following these 3 breaths, seeing if you can enjoy this stillness. Find a sense of pleasure in having nothing else to do. Just following the breath. So again, to explore more movement, you might keep your eyes closed and just see if there's a movement that wants to happen. Seeing if we can trust the body, small little impulses of the body, maybe there's a green circle in the spine, wanting to happen, that we can follow and allow, maybe exploring the weight of that moment. And staying with the breath. So allowing the breath to lead the body. Relaxing the jaw, softening the shoulders and the belly. We might find a small rock in the pelvis. Feeling the connection between the pelvis and the head, allowing the pelvis to tuck, to rock towards the back, and allowing the head to fall forward as the spine rounds. And then letting the bowl of the pelvis fall towards the front, pouring out the front, head fall backwards. We might continue with this gentle rocking motion as the pelvis tucks and the bowl pours backwards as the spine rounds and the head falls. Sit, rigidity in the spine, maybe connecting to the fluid body. And then we might explore moving the spine from side to side. Really allowing the attention to go inward, closing the eyes, feeling the connection between the spine, the pelvis, and the head. Maybe connecting the arms. You might see if you can find one line between the pelvis, the side body, and the arms. So seeing if we can allow these movements to be more of an exploration than an exercise. So you're not trying to do it right. You're not trying to stretch. You're just allowing yourself to feel really curious about the body, like a child who's just exploring the first movements of the body. So, seeing if you can explore all the ways that the arms can move. So, keeping the range of motion in a place that feels really easy. So, we're not pushing. We're allowing the breath to lead the movement. And we're finding a sense of freedom in the arms. So you're going towards the place where the arms can move really freely. We're not looking for the end point where there's that moment of resistance. We're staying in a place that feels really free. Feeling the connection between the arms, the pelvis, the spine, and the head. Seeing if we can maintain a sense of softness in the body so we're not working really hard. We're allowing the breath to lift, to decompress the spine, like space in the shoulders, keeping the jaw relaxed. And then if you like, you may explore transitioning to lying on the ground if you're not already. Really finding your way there. So noticing as we go towards the transition and allowing ourselves to not know how we're going to get there or what it's going to feel like once we've found this connection with the ground. So maybe lie on your side, maybe lie on your back. Just exploring like a child. So allowing ourselves to have this sense of curiosity about our own bodies, really not knowing how they're going to feel. So once you've found your way to the ground, allowing yourself to find a sense of support. And of course, if you've stayed sitting or standing, finding the support of the ground in whatever position you're in. And you might explore rocking the pelvis forward and back. If you're in a new position, exploring the sensations in this new position with a new connection with the ground. And then if it interests you, you might explore lifting one leg and just giving a leg a little shake. So seeing if you can find what the most gentle, free movement feels like in your leg right now. And it might feel kind of silly. It might make you giggle. Maybe you haven't shaken your leg around like this in a long time. Maybe not since you were a kid. So maybe closing your eyes and seeing if you can find a sense of freedom in the hip joint. Just a really gentle exploration. So not pushing the hip. And you might just shake your foot, seeing if you can let go completely in the ankle joint. If there's any pain here, then please don't do it. You can always let that go, and you can try wiggling your knee around, wiggling your hip joint around, and then letting that go. So you might just put your foot back on the ground, noticing if anything's changed in the pelvis here, and staying with the breath. And if it interests you, you might lift your other leg up, feeling the weight of this leg, noticing if this hip joint feels a little bit different than the other one. Then you might explore with giving it a little wiggle, giving it a little shake. So letting go of muscle tension in the leg, letting go of any idea of trying to do this right, and just exploring. Feeling the breath, making sure there's freedom in the breath, that we're not holding, allowing the foot to wiggle, maybe allowing the calf to wiggle, and then letting that go. Taking a pause, closing the eyes, feeling the breath, noticing if anything's changed in the sensations of the pelvis, in the spine, in the head. And then if it interests you, you might explore in a really easy, gentle way, lifting both legs up and maybe wiggling both legs. Just giving them a little shake. Feeling the softness in the legs, feeling the fluidity of the legs, of the hip joints, and allowing yourself to play, to just explore here, to really not know what these legs can do, what these legs are going to feel like with the next tiny movement, with the next tiny exploration. And then you might bring both feet back to the ground. Taking a small pause here. Finding the breath. Finding a gentle movement in the pelvis, in the stomach. Just integrating these movements. And then you might explore lifting one arm in whatever position you're in. So finding the easiest way to allow your arm to lift using the least amount of muscle, the least amount of tension. Just finding a gentle movement once your arm is lifted. So you might try a little wiggle here too. What does it feel like to wiggle the hand, wiggle the fingers? So you might close your eyes and give yourself the opportunity to find something new, to explore the body in a new way. So maybe bouncing the hand a little bit, just noticing the connection between the hand, arm, the shoulder. Maybe you can feel the connection between the hand, the arm, the shoulder, and the jaw. Maybe you add a small rock with the pelvis and just see how this changes the sensations in your arm. And then letting that go. Letting the arm find the support of the ground or the support of your lap if you're sitting. And then slowly exploring with the other arm. Again, taking the time to find what feels easy. So noticing where you have the most freedom of movement in the arm and how you might lift the arm using the least amount of muscle, the least amount of work. So again, this is what kids and babies do all the time before they've gained very much muscle. They're really following the weight of the bones and how to most efficiently move the body without working, without using muscle tension. And once you've found your arm in the air, you might explore a little movement, a little wiggle in the hands, wiggle in the fingers. Noticing the connection here with the shoulder joint, maybe feeling up into the neck, into the jaw, maybe finding a gentle rock in the pelvis, feeling the connection between the head, the spine, and the pelvis, the arm, shoulder. Ready? You can let that go, allowing the arm to fall to the ground or finding the support of your lap. Closing your eyes. Find a small pause here. And then slowly, as you're ready, we can explore finding our way up to sitting if you're not already there. And really allowing this to be an exploration. So bringing in that childlike curiosity and just exploring, how does this body move? How does this body feel today, right now? Noticing the weight of the body, the experience of moving, the weight of the body in space, feeling the feet, the legs. Noticing how the bones move, how the soft tissues move, how the fluids of the body move. And as you're ready, we can